Hey guys, it's Brendan Borman back for another 270 video. It is Monday, April 19th, 2021, and we are back for their Talking 270. Today we've got two special guests. You can see my pretty face, but we can't see theirs, but maybe they've got some secrets to share. We'll see. We've got the pride of Oklahoma, Dustin Downey himself. How's it going, Dustin?
It's going great, Brendan. Glad to be here today.
Nice, nice. And then the pride from, I don't know where you're from. Where you
I'm from Ohio.
Ohio.
Go Blue.
There you go. So
I'm not an Ohio. Yeah, I'm not an Ohio fan. I am a Michigan fan.
Michigan fan in Ohio.
Woo!
Are you friends? Let's see. Is Sam Risborg? Is he in Michigan?
That name sounds familiar.
There's a couple Michigan people in the is it Adam Zatcher? Is he Michigan?
Yeah.
Adam and Sam were both signed up for Michigan for the College World Series, Women's College World Series. Unfortunately, Sam had to drop out. But yeah, no, they're both tried and true. Go Blue.
Yeah.
Northwestern though.
When I saw the signups for it and whatever, I saw Michigan was already taken. I was like, dang, I'm kind of bummed out. I saw Ohio and I was like, this can't be the only team left. And luckily I just found that Northwestern spot. So they're kind of like my number 2 team, I guess, in the Big Ten. So
yeah,
it worked out.
It's always good to have a number 2 team. So,
oh yeah.
But no, Dustin Downey's team is always number 1 Oklahoma. And I had to give him a special shout out wearing my St. Louis Rams Sam Bradford jersey. So the pride of Norman, and went to the Rams, and he's played for the Vikings. He's played a couple teams, but he got paid a lot of money to not be very good. So all good.
Richest rookie deal ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty sick. But so thank you guys for everyone who's going to tune into this video. We are going to talk a little bit about Vermin Supreme, why he's not in the game. We're going to talk about the new candidate coming, Meghan Markle, to the 270, I guess you'd say, universe as a playable candidate. And we'll just be getting to know Dustin and Jacob a little bit more. So buckle up. It'll be a fun ride for the next 15, 20 minutes or so. But I want to open up the floor to Dustin first, just so people can kind of get to know you a little bit. I know they may know you from running some of these college tournaments that have been in the lounge for about the last 6 months or so, but what's something that the lounge, they don't know about you, and what you want to share?
What the lounge in general probably doesn't know about me is that I'm actually a city planner. I actually, that's what I do for a living. And it's really cool, on my end to be in a place where I can actually make change, do things in the world a little different. Y'all know that I'm a sports guy. I honestly think I enjoy running the tournaments more than I do playing in them.
Chad Harris said the same thing.
Yeah, no, Chad and I have had a good conversation about that. He's a great guy, and he runs a good tournament. It was just a crazy deal. I was sitting in a barbecue joint in September, and I decided, you know what? No, I think I want to run a 270 football deal, and I sent it out that afternoon, or while I was sitting waiting for my food. I sent out the signups, and I did not expect it was going to take that much of my time, but here we are.
But you've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of it, and I'm sure you've met a lot of people too.
It's been good getting to know people, getting to play. Gary Venifici and I.
Vice Sapa movie.
He and I ran for president when the whole president thing was going on there.
Good grief.
and we had a slogan that was hashtag play more games.
There you go.
So that's all we do. We just that's the kind of the way that we do things. Get people to play games. That's why we're here, right? That's why we're in the lounge.
There you go.
Absolutely.
I could get downy with that.
I like it.
That's a good one.
So that was cool. Thanks for that answer. One follow-up
Did
question.
you freeze?
Who is
Oh,
your
I think I did a little bit.
who is your favorite candidate to play in the game and why?
Me or Jacob? Sorry.
Dustin, sorry.
My favorite player in the game, and you and I were getting ready to talk about it, and we kind of switched over. I play with Nixon. I play with Nixon a lot. He's people don't consider him an overpowered candidate, and he really isn't. But he's a fairly flexible candidate for a Republican with a good export bonus. So once you get
it, big export, 40%.
Big export bonus. But then also, if you need to go natty groups, big conservative is right there, and then one of the few guys that has more than 10% in both Old South and swing. So depending on how you want to start.
Yeah, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. So Jacob, I know. Sorry, I'm not trying to play favorites with Dustin. I know him.
No, you're good.
I had some more kind of easy questions. I'm gonna throw some hard hitting questions to you. So
here we go.
Here we go. So Jacob, what brought you to 270? I know you joined the lounge this year, right?
Yeah, like late 2020, early 2021.
So you've been playing the game a little bit before you got here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Is that?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, were you gonna ask like how I got into the game and stuff? Is that where you're leading to?
How you found 270?
So it was, I mean, around election time, probably kind of a big time for this game, I'm assuming. And I was looking up like political strategy games, like stuff like that, because I was just looking for new stuff, election, all that going on. I was like, I kind of want to, start getting more into this route and doing these kinds of things. And I found 270, and I just really liked it. Was very interpersonal, like you could meet more people and stuff like that, and it felt a little more like challenging strategy wise. I just kind of thought it was like the perfect political strategy game to get into.
Nice. Yeah,
yeah.
I had a similar story back when I joined originally, back in 2018, the lounge, and then I played for a good minute and got out and got back in. So, but yeah, I was looking for like a kind of scratch my itch of like almost like Risk. I was looking for different like strategy games, and I wasn't even looking for the political sphere, and I kind of found this, and I came back to it later on after I had found a Facebook group of not 270, but like a political simulation game. It was kind of ironic for me. So Jacob, you're from Ohio, and
yep.
I know that's a very important state in the game. Do you ever find yourself overspending in Ohio?
At first a lot. Like it was so funny. Like at first I was like, Ohio is like my state, I need to defend it. But like over time I'm like, hey, if I get to it, cool. Like, if that's just, well, I mean, actually usually I go like swing states. So like, Ohio is one of the first ones I get into, but I don't like go claim it right away. To be honest, I usually forget about it.
Yeah. No worries.
But
you're a swing states guy. Good to know.
Pretty much. Yeah. Whoops.
Who's the best player you've ever beaten?
Oh gosh, I think the best player I've ever beaten was Stephanie Lane in the 270 softball. It was the only like ranked game I have so far. That's really the only one I could base it off of. But yeah, we played a couple times, beat her twice in a row. I was like, cool, like I'm really good now. And then I lost like 3 games in a row, and I was like, okay, let's give her a little reality check here.
Yeah, no, it's good to stay humble once in a while. But that's good. I mean, you're playing lots of matches, play more games like Dustin Downey would say. And you can watch my YouTube channel for some strategy. You can watch other people play. It's quick to learn, and it's hard to master. I mean, it's one of those deals. I mean, it's like golf. If you ever play golf, you can easily cut your score from like 100 to like 80. But as you get down to like 75 and 72 and 70, like it's harder to go, one shot or like track and field. Like if you run the 400 meter dash, you can't just cut 10 seconds off your time.
Oh, for sure.
1 second's great. So, but that's good. I'm glad you are making a name for yourself in the lounge. So let's talk a little bit about Vermin Supreme. Vermin Supreme is the guy with the pointy boot on his head. If you have seen the artwork, do either of you guys know much about Vermin Supreme?
A little bit. You hear the name a lot in the political realm, but
yeah, and he was supposed to be the new candidate Monday on this past week. And as you may know, I do have conversations a lot with the 270 team, just kind of giving my input on some things. And I was a little bit frustrated that Vermin Supreme wasn't in the game. So just the kind of the quick reason, one of the developers is actually from the UK. And with the passing of Prince Philip, did take some time off. Was kind of distraught over that. Kind of sounded a little bit corny the first time I'd heard that, but I guess he had some ties to or some kind of connection there. So the game got a little bit postponed, or the update got a little bit postponed, and the actual information didn't get to Apple and iOS in time. And so instead of like rushing it through Steam, and having half the people, or, some people have it and they just decided to wait. But right now, the guy who is in charge of that is not yet back. They do anticipate him coming back over the weekend. So hopefully we get Vermin on Monday, and they may even release the new candidate this week's with Vermin Supreme. I wouldn't be surprised. They might hold off, but I did hear that Meghan Markle is going to be the new candidate Monday for this week. So Meghan Markle, you may know her as the Duchess. You may know her as that one chick who married that one guy. I see her husband. I think of the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz all the time. Have you ever seen that? That side?
Yeah.
So, I'm, like I said, I'm more of a sports guy like Dustin is. I'm not kind of into the cheeky chick flicks, but I guess Meghan Markle was in the movie Horrible Bosses. If you guys have ever seen that movie,
that was a really funny movie.
She was actually a FedEx driver.
That's funny.
Yeah, if you go back and watch it, or just Google it, you can find the image. So, do either of you guys have strong feelings or knowledge of Meghan Markle?
I mean, I know where she comes from now that I put the name next to, I made the character association, but I don't know an awful lot about her as a person.
She's a pretty gal. She is a mama, and she is very much into her organizations that she sponsors, nonprofits. And so this is a sneak peek of the preview of Meghan Markle's stats. Now, this artwork is not official, although, you know what? Maybe 270 ought to reach out to Jacob. I hear you're pretty good at like Photoshop and stuff.
Yeah, I am a little bit of a graphic designer, so
nice.
Give me a call.
This was my chance at putting together like an unofficial Meghan Markle just for this video. So I did like the little crop out the background, and there was a little bit of white stuff underneath her chin. And so I put a little gold square. You can kind of notice it now. Yep. So, I mean, it's one of those things you don't notice it if you don't bring it up, but there it is.
Right.
So anyway,
well, I was wondering where her left shoulder went.
Oh yeah, that too. But
minor details, it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, I think that the royal family gave her the cold shoulder, and so it kind of maybe froze off or something. Not sure, but. Anyway, her bonuses are on the left-hand side. She has a 45% women's movement, 25% labor and environment, 25% youth vote, 30% evangelicals, which is usually a Republican bonus. Those are some pretty high national groups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's almost RBG level women's movement.
Yeah, RBG's a 50. So I think that's pretty high. But
yeah,
I understand like the mindset 270 is going for as far as like the framework. Now, some of the numbers, like, there's not a huge difference in 20 or 25, but whenever you see a 30 or even a 40, like 45, like that's where my eyes go to is like, wow. I mean, most people like with RBG start off in women's movement because it's, a 50% bonus. That 30% evangelical is interesting just because it, if you're playing one of those weird, wacky Wednesday or games where you can only spin in national groups like the first 8 turns, she all of a sudden becomes an amazing candidate because you can go women's movement and evangelical and labor and youth. But
Yeah, and you can pick if you're playing a Republican, you can go for those 3. And if you're playing a Democrat, you can go the evangelical route.
yeah,
That's a crazy versatile.
Yes.
I think more so in multiplayer games, in a 1v1, you're not going to get that much into the national groups, unless it's weird rules. But yeah, you're right. Versatile is a good word. What do you think, Jacob?
I agree with that versatility. I mean, one of the strengths of this character is definitely going to be that, hey, if my plan A doesn't work out, I have a plan B and a C and a D. She's so versatile, which, I mean, I'm guessing she's also going to be like independent. So it's, pretty easy to swap to either more Democrat type player or Republican.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, especially if you partner her with like a really good VP, like an RBG or a Clinton, she could become like an insanely, like, I don't want to say overpowered, but definitely one of the stronger characters in the game.
Yeah, I think that TwoSeventy, a lot of times, I won't say a lot of times, but I think new school TwoSeventy, they care a lot about the candidate sales. And my honest opinion is I think they need to figure out more ways to monetize. I mean, I get it. They need to keep the lights on to keep the game running, but selling candidates is not the only way to make money. They could, have different area maps and have people unlock that. I mean, it's insane, like the number of people who buy debates or buy party funding. Now, I don't buy those things. Sometimes I buy debates when I'm streaming for fun, but like their number 2 candidate in sales last month was technically party funding. Like,
Really?
yeah, if as far as like what brings in money, and so I get it. Like there's a big population of people who don't even play online. They just play for fun against the AI. But when you're playing against real people and you're talking about some of the best players in the world, and if you give them like an RBG VP, like you're saying, that can definitely, I won't say break the game, but make it very, very, very powerful.
Yeah, and especially like you were talking about in those multiplayer games, if you partner her with RGB and that probably like a 65% women's, or if you go with like a Bernie and just increase that youth vote, that's so like incredibly overpowering, especially if it's someone who's been playing the game for a while. It almost feels like you're playing like a 2-on-1.
Yeah, you could be. Yeah, for sure. Now, I do know that TwoSeventy likes to use other candidates as comps to of like strength wise. And to touch on what you were saying about her being an independent, I can confirm she is an independent candidate. However, they are going to possibly make her a Democrat, have like an either or, so that she can be accessible inside the Democratic primary mode, which
Interesting.
does have an LBGTQ. I can never say the alphabet. That one. She does have a 25% bonus for that, LBGQT, and she does have a 30% African and American Latino bonus. So not like the strongest. I know like Warnock has a really strong AA and Latino. There are different candidates in the game. RBG is really, really good because of her women's movement and labor and environment, as is a potential Bernie Sanders if they ever make presence available in that. But she does have high tech in town and gown, so she can play out of New York, obviously, or California. 35% AA, that actually is equal to Kamala Harris.
Really? That's interesting.
So it's not a 50% bonus, which I definitely think would have been overkill. And she does have a 10% swing bonus. So I do think that swing is one of those, it depends on who you're talking to. What are your guys' like mindset on swing and like who should get swing and not get swing? Because I feel like sometimes they can be all over the board with that. I have my thoughts, but I want to hear what you guys think.
Dustin, you can go first on this if you have something.
All right. I wanted to, before I answer your question, I went and did the math, and RBG and Meghan Markle would be a 78% women's movement.
Wow. It's a lot.
That's ridiculous. That breaks the game.
Absolutely.
But to answer your question about swing states, there's a lot of people that play swing states. There's a reason that a lot of people play swing states. To me, swing states should be a microcosm of the country, right? You know, if you've got a broad appeal to a lot of different bases, or a broad appeal to the moderate base,
Right.
that's where your swing state should be. I don't understand. I get it. He won some of the swing states. I don't understand why, for instance, Donald Trump has a swing state bonus. Because you're either there or you're not with Mr. Trump. There's no people that might be swayed one way or the other. But a 10% swing state bonus is, honestly, looking at this, one of the least interesting things about Miss Markle.
So I appreciate that feedback. I definitely know people who think like you, and then there are going to be people who complain, like, why does she not have a swing state penalty? Jacob, as someone who's played the game, maybe not as long, do you ever play as a candidate who has a negative swing state bonus, has a penalty?
Not that I can think of, because, I mean, that's one of the easiest strategies in the game. It's one of the quickest ones. So I usually don't go that route.
So, like, some of the examples would be RBG, or would be Stacey Abrams. I think those candidates don't, have a swing state penalty.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really played as someone who has a swing state negative. I usually choose like Republican candidates, which usually have a swing state bonus. But yeah, I find it interesting that they went conservative with Meghan Markle on the swing state, but went so aggressive with all the other bonuses. I would like to know, like, why they chose swing state as like maybe we should pull back a little bit on this one.
Well, and they've been doing a lot of swing state candidates lately. I mean, they came out with RR84. That was kind of pushing the envelope. I mean, I think if anyone deserves it, Reagan did.
Yeah.
But President Biden, kind of the most OP candidate, the first OP, he had this huge swing, and even like someone like a Ron DeSantis, which that's what makes him Ron DeSantis in the game. But, what warrants that number? Is it past performance like Dustin's talking about? Or is it, this it factor of maybe being, known outside of the game? Like the Stone. People know who Dwayne Johnson is, who don't play 270, who aren't into politics. I think the same can be said for Meghan Markle. I think that gives her a baseline of like a 10% or at least a neutral. And then going from there, you can kind of build off of it. But to me, I hate when 270 just gives like random penalties unless there's a reason to justify it. Sure,
Yeah.
we can gripe about, something being too high or too low, but the ones that make no sense at all, those are, that's what kind of gets me. I mean, I'm not all about making Barack Obama even stronger, but why does Barack Obama have such a big Old South?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
And you give President Biden a bonus. I mean, President Biden won Maryland, which is technically in the Old South. Well, that's probably the least Old South state. All the Democrats always win Virginia, but even with Georgia for President Biden, that doesn't get him the bonus. But I mean, I'm 10% bonus. I'm okay with that for President Biden for Old South. Swing, I'm okay with 10% here, but like game-breaking numbers that you're talking about, that's what we're trying to avoid, and especially in swing states, that's something that should be a little bit sacred. Do you guys know, quick math, what 50 times 1.78 is for the women's movement if you have Meghan Markle and an RBG vice president per turn?
50 times 1.78? I guess like 75%, 78, somewhere around there.
So what's the dollar per turn that you'd get for women's movement?
89 grand.
89K.
Jeez. A little overpowered.
Little bit.
I got a question, and this is silly. I was looking at the penalties, going, okay, there's not a lot of penalties over there, and there's not. And I wanted to say something about why there's not an Old South penalty, because I don't think the Old South gives a crap about the Duchess. But then I looked at export driven, and isn't she an export?
So I think the main reason she's an export driven penalty is because of Queen Elizabeth having her only penalty in the game is export. So that was kind of a carryover. Agriculture, is the Queen's biggest bonus. And so, and the Duchess, she has a farm herself. So I think that went into the thought process with the bonus, but you're right, and while these are confirmed stats, there have been at least 3 times that something has happened in the 11th hour or the 12th hour, and I'm not even aware of it. I've already made a video about it. So while these are, knock on wood, the stats, if 270 makes a change, as long as they make it, her a little bit weaker and not stronger, I think that would be a welcome change. So going into the state groups, we talked about a little bit about it, but Latino 25%, high tech 15, town and gown 15, agriculture 20, swing states 10, and then we talked about the primary mode. The bonuses, oil and gas. Most Democrats have a negative in oil and gas, and then export driven, and then big conservative and gun lobby. Those could even have been higher. RBG has minus 50% in both of those. So, it doesn't really matter, like the difference between minus 50 and minus 20, like no one's going to go there, but it's interesting how 270 kind of picks out those stats sometimes. But like I always say, it is all good. It's their game. We just play it. And if you don't like it, send a feedback message. That's for sure. But one thing that we all like is our moms. So it's Mother's Day coming up. Do you guys have any Mother's Day ideas?
I saw one. I saw it on Facebook today, and I'm not rich enough to do it for real, but I might be able to run across a fake one. Somebody made a bouquet out of $100 bills.
Okay.
Wow.
I think I could go to the dollar store and get some fake $100 bills and do that, and I might be able to give my mom a laugh for Mother's Day.
That'd be fun.
There you go.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of forgot that was coming up soon. But I think something I would love to do is, my mom's a huge photographer, and we always went up to the certain places as a kid. So I might take her up there, might take some photos, and just have a nice simple day, because that's how my mom is. So.
Nice. There you go. Well, if you are like either of these guys and not really sure, come up with these, photography, and you're not quite sure what's going on. My wife, she does is a Cinegents, which is makeup. I know I'm definitely not qualified to talk about this, but I can tell you that it is some good stuff. At least she'll claim it to be. And if you don't like it, you can return it, get all your money back. But there's products on here that they're mainly known for their lip scents, which is like makeup that doesn't come off. So think of it like, instead of going to Walmart and buying it for $30 and maybe doing that every month, you buy this, it's like 50, and you don't buy it again for 6 months. So anyway, it's just a quick little plug. Told my wife I would do it because she's doing a Facebook sale, and I was like, oh, I'll support that. So I'll put the link in the description of the video. So if you are completely out of ideas, hey, I tried. Don't be mad at me.
There you go.
Yep. So gonna sign off here in just a few minutes, but I want to give each of you guys a chance to ask me a question. It could be game related, non-game related, but I'm gonna let Dustin go first. Give Jacob some extra time. We've never talked before this, so
thank you.
Yep. Dustin, fire away.
You're gonna do that to me. Ask me to ask you a question real quick. I know your Tigers have been represented well by Mr. Hawkins over the course of this event, and I wanted to plug real quick. that we are going to have our reveal for the College World Series tournament is going to be this coming weekend. That's the, we're going to do that. But my question for you is, what makes a tournament or an event or a league, what makes it something that Brendan Borman can't miss?
So I'll be honest. I got to a point where I didn't want to miss anything. That's kind of the height of, why I wanted to be commissioner and, meet people and do all this and come up with, a unique tournament idea. I really like the unique ones, like I really like the Micah Moen, the EV play for a state. That was interesting. That was the first time that had ever happened. I like, obviously, my Wacky Wednesdays became a stream. I haven't been doing those for a good month now, but I've been kind of, let's say, burnt out on streaming, but life happens, having a 1-year-old in life, all that good stuff. But I would say that the commentary really helps having, I appreciate both you guys coming on. It's a lot more fun to talk to one or two people, not just me. So you see people like Jeffrey Bobowitz and Bryce Hawkins and Daniel Warren hopping on a stream, or you see Tyler DeMora on his late night Twitch and having Sapun, or some people hop on. Those are really cool things. It could be two of the worst players playing at it, and if it's good commentary, I'll be intrigued to watch. But also, just people who put the extra effort into it, like you do with your rankings, for the College World Series. Like, it's really time consuming, and I know that I appreciate it. I know that other people appreciate it. And I know if you don't hear that enough, know that it is appreciated inside the lounge. But, everything's a season in this game. So if you have to take a break, don't feel guilty. You can always come back and host your own tournament. But I'd say must-see TV is some good commentary and some good kind of unique twist to it. Jacob, your turn.
All right. So maybe a similar question, but to someone who might be running their first tournament or is thinking about it, what is a piece of advice you would give to someone who's trying to run their own tournament for the first time?
Okay, so I would make sure that you keep it simple, stupid. So KISS, the acronym. You can come up with this, extravagant idea, and it may even work for you. Dustin had this crazy football idea, and it's evolved into, what the college tournaments are today. But I would keep it a relatively small and in controlled, group, and you might vet people a little bit, make sure that they're not going to drop out. And if people do, that's part of it. As far as like repeating a tournament that's already happened, I mean, the game's been around so long, you're bound to have a repeat in rules. And it's okay to definitely ask someone like myself, or like a Zach Algaze or a Javier Rodriguez, someone who's been in the lounge and may know like what type of tournaments have happened. And if there is like a repeat, it could be common courtesy to ask, someone who's done it in the past. They probably won't care. If you don't, I'm not going to be mad at you, but someone else might be. It's just one of those things. But at the end of the day, we're all kind of on the same page. We're on the same team, as members of the lounge. I would do kind of a simplified version of what your idea is, and then if it's successful, kind of grow upon that in season 2.
Awesome.
Yep. Awesome. Well, it's 9:25 here in Missouri. You're in Central Time, both of you, aren't you?
No, I'm in Eastern, so it's 10:25 here.
Where's the line? Is it in Ohio?
I think it's in Indiana, like halfway through Indiana, I think is the line.
Okay.
Almost all of Indiana is in Eastern Time, and the area around Chicago is Central.
Okay.
And then it jogs back east because Nashville's in Central Time.
I go through Tennessee quite a bit, and that's weird. And like you go, like I know when you're going like to Atlanta, like you're in Tennessee, Atlanta, back to Tennessee.
Yeah, that time zone's really weird. When I was in Florida, I was actually in Central Time Zone, I think. It was like on like the Panhandle. It was so weird.
Yeah, that it's kind of close to Alabama, Gulf Shores, right?
Yeah, it was like Pensacola, which is down by that area. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty down there.
It
Awesome.
is 9:26 p.m. here, and Texas still sucks.
Texas. You gotta throw it upside down.
Orange down.
That's upside right.
Something like that. I'm learning still, so all good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions for these guys, feel free to drop a comment on the YouTube description on the YouTube video, and I'll make sure these guys see it. Hit that thumbs up. I been kind of lackadaisical at posting videos, but we are still getting close to 1,000 subscribers. We're in the 700, so would be kind of cool to get that done before I turn 30 years old on Halloween. That's kind of going to be the goal. So appreciate both of you guys. Look forward to talking in the near future. And we are going to say goodbye. Jacob, I'm going to let you sign us off here.
All right. Till next time, guys. Talk to you later.
Until next time, we'll see the next 270 video.
The next 270 video.
There you go.
All right.